So, see, today we are going to be talking about something like where this thing comes. We are going to be talking about something like the mode of action. I mean, everything about drugs today that you have to know as an upcoming student that is persuading or that you are being persuaded by the action of how medicine experts actually do. Because some of you here, they are thinking, you guys are thinking that, well, since the education towards medicine is like this, like that, is awesome, then let me actually partake to it as well. So that is why, or that is what leads you to say, let me learn these drugs of everything. But as an upcoming student, there are things you have to adhere to. You get, there are things you have to learn, and that is what you'll be talking about today. You get. So it is a thing of joy that you can't know all these things. First and foremost, you get to know how the drugs work. That, can you imagine something? I'm feeling pains on my toe, or I'm feeling pains on my knee, or I'm feeling pains on my head. I have a little headache. I have stomach pain, stomach ache, and all of a sudden I take this tetracycline, or all of a sudden I take this paracetamol. Everything just go off like that. So what is actually behind this? It is a big course for you to study in field of medicine. So you know, and we actually refer this thing to a mode of action of every drugs. After mode of action, you know the indication. The indication is actually saying or talking about how it works. I get to the point.
Yes.
How it works, what it works for. For example, I just make mention of paracetamol in our recent lecture, where I said, what is the usage of paracetamol? I said it is for
headache, fever, and cold.
Exactly. He said it's for headache, fever, and cold. So you already know that one. You already know that this one is for headache, fever, and cold. Since you have known this one, then you know, okay, fine. Paracetamol is for headache, fever, and cold. That is the indication of paracetamol. You also know the classics of drug that the paracetamol belongs to. So what are the classics of drug that the paracetamol belongs to?
Analgesic.
Okay, when we talk about analgesic, we said, okay, fine, analgesic and is the classics of drug that paracetamol belongs to. Then let's quickly take a look at how it works on the feverish condition, or even the cold, or even the pains like headache. So if we should correct check that one, then we have to do something with the enzyme and as well the hormones. We'll talk about the enzymes such as the cyclooxygenase, and we'll talk about the hormones you get, such as the cortisol and the one that is also responsible for what pyrexia. Because paracetamol do serve, when I say you feel cold, it's actually serving something very important for you, for that cold to subside, so that your system will be warm. Then if you are hot as well, which is pyrexia, or you are pyretic in nature, then if you take paracetamol, it will somewhat the same work with if you are cold, if you are feeling cold, because it will still reverse your body back to warm state. Get so?
Yes, sir.
These are the work of this particular paracetamol. You already know that this paracetamol indication is for cold, headache, and other things. Then you already know the mode of action that it belongs to, analgesic. Yes. So, and as well, it belongs to what? Antipyretic. Two classes of drugs are the belonging of what? Paracetamol. We have analgesic, we have the antipyretic. Then you already know that one. You know under lactation, also know as what? Pregnancy patient. There's what we call lactation, breastfeeding mother. When you hear the word lactation, breastfeeding, who is breastfeeding is what known as lactation. So you have to learn something very important, critically learn something important that has to do with breastfeeding, because it's not all drugs that the breastfeeding mother can actually take. And you know that one, you also know, is it even possible for a pregnant mother, a pregnant lady, to take this particular drug? It's also part of the drugs that you'll be learning. When you talk about the ulcer patient and the allergy, when we talk about allergy, there are a lot of people that are allergic to particular drugs. I'm getting the point. Yes. Such as this quinolone drugs, such as the chloroquine, piperaquine, and then mapacrin. All those ones. Some people are allergic to it. Some people will be like, since I take this chloroquine, I started scratching. Not only chloroquine, other drugs can be part of it. Other analgesic drugs can be part of it. Yes. You get? Another analgesic drugs such as the prednisolone. Prednisolone can be allergic to some people, but that is the mode of action. If we should cross-check prednisolone aspect, because some people will be like, I take prednisolone. Okay, since I take this prednisolone, what I face is that I urinate often and often, and I don't like it. That is the mode of action because it's trying to drill out the synovial fluid that causes your pain. Because it's a gathering or accumulation of synovial fluid that causes that your pain. So it has to work by drilling it out. I mean, make sure it convert everything to drill out everything from the joints so that you relieve your pain. You get? So that one is the source of it. You have to question whether this particular drug is allergic to this. Not only allergic to one tablet or the other, but not only allergic to physical activities, but also allergic to one medication and another. There are some drugs that you can't take together, such as clotrimazole and salbutamol. Why? The reason is this: you can take it, can combine it together for some patients. Why you cannot combine it together for some patients? And it has meaning. That it has reasons why it is like that. If you should compare salbutamol, for instance, with what clotrimazole, which is SAM3 and Ventolin, that is what you call it. If you combine this thing together, some people it will actually neutralize some people's system. You'll be like, okay, so I take this thing, I can't work. Yes, I can't do weak, I can't do all this kind of thing. So you got try know all those kind of things. So I already told you, if you want to know the foundation of medicine, what you need to know: the indication of that particular medicine, contraindication of that medicine, the mode of action of that medicine, pharmacological aspect of that medicine, allergic aspect of that medicine, the lactation, pregnancy patient, ulcer patient, and some other uncommon properties. You get some uncommon properties such as the properties of that particular drugs, what is made of, what they used to make that drugs. So you get to know all this one. That is everything that we have to gain in today's lecture. You get. So in our next lecture, we should try as much as possible to pick. We just talk about paracetamol. In our next lecture, which is the second lecture, we'll be taking another drugs, and teach every properties of drugs that belong to that particular drugs. You get. So you guys just stay tuned. Stay tuned. I can call you at any time and do the need for you.
Okay.